In this video, I'm going to tell you how to answer your own science questions. But before I do, please click the like or subscribe button. Hi, I'm Dr. Rebecca Woodbury, and I have been publishing science educational materials for the last 20 years, including the Real Science for Kids series. This video is going to be very powerful because you're finally going to see how you and your kids can answer your own science questions, which is part of the RATATAZ method. What most parents and educators do is ask kids questions and guide them to the answers, which is why kids don't learn in depth. They never get the chance to explore their own questions. But this video will fix that so your kids can go from science rookie to science ace. The first step is to research, which begins the process of looking for an answer. Now, research can be anything, doing a Google search or going to the library or asking an expert. In fact, try calling a university to get in touch with a scientist that might be able to help direct your inquiry. The most important part of researching is to vet your sources. So what does that mean? Well, we can classify sources as primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary sources like scientific journals or scientists themselves are a great way to get information straight from the source. But primary sources are sometimes confusing if you don't have much knowledge about that subject. Secondary sources, on the other hand, can be easier to understand. Secondary sources are at least one step removed from primary sources. They aren't always as accurate as the original source. Examples of secondary sources include review and summary articles or any other critiques of the primary source. Tertiary sources are one step removed from secondary sources and 2 steps removed from a primary source. These are the most accessible and easiest to understand, but may not be accurate or reliable. Examples include blogs, opinion pieces, and almost any news article or report. So now that you've gathered your information about your question, you can start the next step, which is to figure out exactly how you might answer your question, or maybe even which part of your question you will answer. You might test a quick idea, do an example experiment, or even decide to do a full experiment, or just a calculation. Test, tinker, and try. Play with your ideas and explore them in as many different ways as you can. Finally, the best way to check your answer is to share it with others and ask them what answers they got. Comparing results helps us determine how close our answers are to others and can reveal any assumptions we make in our experiments. This step is the most fun. Sharing your answers and getting the chance to debate your process or argue conclusions is exciting, entertaining, and tests your mettle. Then, rinse and repeat. Do more research, find new questions to ask, test, tinker, try to answer those questions, and then talk, tell, and dazzle. In other words, RATATAZ. If you want your kids to dive deep and learn real science, I've developed the RATATAZ method that gets your kids to ask and answer their own questions. I've mapped out the best way for kids to learn science, and all the hard work of choosing where to begin has been done for you. Sequence matters, and we build it for you. Each step of the RATATAZ method is, of course, backed by science.